Cuba saying it's killed 4 people aboard an American speedboat and injuring 6 others. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. Breaking news at this hour. The Cuban embassy in the United States saying that Cuban troops opened fire on the speedboat that they say was detected in Cuba's territorial waters. The vessel, actually registered in Florida, is said to have been about a mile from Cuba. Our contributor and retired Colonel Steve Ganyard joins me now. Clearly, we're just reading in, getting more information. But as you're getting details, what are your first thoughts?
First of all, we can't trust anything that the Cubans say. So if they say it was only a mile offshore, then that opens questions like what was that speedboat doing there, because it was within the 12 nautical mile legal limit of sovereign territory of Cuba. If it was outside of 12 miles and this happened, which we will be able to probably determine, then that is something very, very different, and that becomes a very big diplomatic incident. So 4 people dead, 6 people injured. That's about the only thing we can trust. The Cubans say that the U.S. boat fired first on the Cuban boat. Hard to believe that, but we need to wait and see how close they were actually, and that will determine how big a deal this actually becomes.
And we're being very careful with the language here because we're saying an American speedboat. We're not saying that Americans were killed. We don't know yet. I don't think we can confirm, right, if they were Americans or not. Okay, so clearly this is fallout from the capture of Maduro.
Yeah, it's fallout in the sense that the Cubans are very nervous. So remember when we took Maduro and we said that we're going to control Venezuelan oil, we said 60% of your daily requirement of oil, Cuba, is no longer going to come to you from Venezuela. And so you think about a cut of that much oil that keeps the lights on is eventually going to crush the Cuban economy. The Cubans know this. They know that the White House has said very clearly that they want regime change in Havana. So it's a matter of time before the economy collapses and something has to give. So very, very nervous, and so you can see that they may be on guard. But at this point, there's no reason to think that this was deliberate or something done by the United States government. Smuggling happens back and forth between Cuba and Florida all the time. So a lot of questions here. We can't really determine anything, but we do know that the Cubans are very nervous about the U.S. pushing the regime to collapse.